1,000 points of ogres. We have a 6-man pack of Ironguts. Another 6-man pack of Ironguts. We have a Tyrant with 2 weapons, which means he's going to get 6 attacks and reroll failed hits. And a Firebelly, who is an ally. The Soulblight half of the game is this 1,000 points. We have a Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon. We have 2 units of Blood Knights, today being proxied by various other undead things on horses, and a Tomb Banshee ally. Now, these guys have, the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon has an Amaranthian Orb, which allows him to cast a spell on a 7, pick a spot on the battlefield 12 inches from him, and in a straight line is 1 millimeter wide between that point and the closest part of the caster. Roll a die for any models beneath this line. On a 4-up, that unit suffers d6 wounds. And he also has, the whole army has Deathless Thralls, which works exactly like Deathless Minions. Their bloodline, however, for the vampire units, for the Soulblight units, is Swift Death. So they're each going to move 2 inches farther, and they count as flying. So these Blood Knights that were only moving at a 10 now move at a 12, and they count as flying. So this giant piece of terrain is only going to block the ogres. The ogres' turn. Well, we decided not to move forward because we can't get in charge range this turn, and they're gonna bring the fight here. So the Firebelly cast his Cloak of Fire Owl, Cascading Fire Cloak. So if the dead guys get within 3 inches of the Firebelly, then he can possibly do wounds to them. It probably won't happen, but I got the spell off, so yeah. And the other reason we're not moving forward is because both the Tyrant and the Firebelly failed to make these guys run forward. So without the extra movement, I was not going to get into close combat. So yeah, now we're waiting on the dead guys. So the undead things are like being scaredy pantses, because they don't move 1.5 feet and able to charge and stuff. So yeah.
You were just as a scare.
There, you guys do all the stabby bits. Shut up. Before I forget to say something, we finally remembered to roll off for who gets to go win, and the undead guys have won initiative. They lost initiative, and the ogre said, "No, you move first." Because the undead guys got to perform a double turn, basically, because they went the end of turn 1 and the beginning of turn 2. These guys got into close combat. The zombie dragon decided to eat a Firebelly and did not want to see what his spell did, because his spell doesn't go off until the end of the combat phase. I thought it was at the beginning, otherwise he would not have been on the hill. But because the zombie dragon chose to eat the Firebelly first, the Ironguts got to attack and not be retaliated against, and decided to eat the 5 Blood Knights. They dealt something like 30 damage, and the Blood Knights saved 3 with their Deathless Minions from the first 2 volleys. Yes, that wasn't wounds, that was damage. So, yeah, now it's the time for the ogres to go. This may be a short game. The end of the ogre turn. The ogres have dealt 5 points of... Actually, we dealt more than 5 points of damage to the zombie dragon, but the zombie dragon lord guy got to go and healed 3 wounds, so we've dealt 8. But he's only keeping 5 of them because he healed himself. So, yeah. This unit of Ironguts lost 2 guys in combat. They split their attacks between the zombie dragon... Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, and the unit of Blood Knights. That Blood Knight has a single wound left, only 3 of these guys got to pile in and attack because of terrain, and we don't fly. The Tyrant got to attack the zombie dragon. He is down to 3 wounds now, and is really unhappy. He had 5 hits, 4 wounds, and 2 wounds went through, dealing 4 points of damage. So the Tyrant did 4, 3 of these guys did 4 points, and the Ogres are sitting pretty right now. But we'll see what the next battle round and holds for us. 5 models were slain this turn. One of them was undead. The Banshee decided to go up on top of the mountain and yell at us, dealing 2 damage? 1 damage, right. And then the Pestilence Breath went off. I'm sorry, before all of this, the spell of laser beams went off. What's the actual name of the spell, Lumpy?
Amaranth Orb.
Amaranth Orb. It's something like pick a spot on the table 12 inches from the caster. Everything between you and the dot on a 4-up will take damage.
D6.
A D6 damage. The squad, who's pretty much obliterated right now, the banner ate it twice. The squad who hasn't lost a guy, but one guy's down to 1 wound, they took it twice. So, yeah. But fortunately, the laser beam only did 1 point of damage each time. The zombie dragon has a wound coming back at the end of the turn. Combat phase, which is now. The Tyrant didn't get to go this turn because the zombie dragon decided to slice him with the Sword of Hate.
Yes.
I think it's called the Slacking Blade.
Yes, the Slacking Blade.
Slacking Blade does what again?
After 6 wounds have been caused, it heals a D3 to the wielder, and you deal an additional 1 point of damage with that weapon.
So yeah.
Until the end of the game.
The 6 wounds were dealt as of last turn, so they did an extra point of damage, and that 1 extra point of damage was what he needed to slay the Tyrant. So technically, I think I have to pick another model as the general, which will be this guy. Not that it really matters much. He still has his 5 friends, which is why he's been picked. This champion is the only guy left in his unit and has decided to stick it out. Because, whatever, he's halfway dead anyway. So yeah, now we're going to go into probably the last turn of the game. This was the last turn of the game. The undead were... No, the ogres got first turn on this battle round, finally. Not that they were able to do anything with it.
No, that one guy was wrecking my stuff.
Now, the single model that was left from the previous unit, who got wrecked before, he decided he was going to bash that Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon real good. He got 6 wounds through. No, he got 6 damage through.
5 damage.
Okay, 5 damage through. Via 2 wounds, because his giant beatstick does 3 damage, and then the undead guy has deathless thralls because they're because they're Soulblight instead of death. Or Legions of Nagash, whatever else they have. So the zombies, the ogres tried to do a bunch of damage to the zombie dragon, did not succeed. The zombie dragon popped his chalice. Chalice only healed him for 1. It was not enough to remove him from his current bracket, which was his 3rd bracket, but he's still really good. So he killed a whole slew of ogres, did enough damage to where the last guy ran away. And the zombie dragon has only been dealt 6 wounds, and the Banshee keeps yelling at us.
Most useless model.
It arguably has done not enough this game. It tried to yell at the Ironguts for the last 2 turns and matched their bravery. Only dealt 1 point of damage during the shooting phase for the game. To be fair, it should have ran turn 1, so it could have shot turn 2, but plans change. So here we go. That was the end of the game. It is we're going to call it a major victory For the Legions of Nagash, once again, they have tabled the Ogres in less than 5 turns. Yeah, this was not a good match for the Ogres. We'll see if we can fare better next time.
Though I do hate
Probably
Ironguts.
not. However, Ironguts hit like a bus. Yeah, they're pretty good if they can get saves. Now, they did a really good job of killing the other guys, but we've not found a good solution for Zombie Dragon. So if you found one, please post it in the comments.